divide and conquer is usually seen as something that is done physically. No, it's done mentally as well as socially in all those different institutions I think about. And that is why history has been marginalized. You've got history and you've got other history, Black history, Oriental or Chinese history, yes, whatever the case may be. And that was done by design. That was socially constructed. So when Black history is taught within the Western context or within Western academies, they usually look at the catastrophic. This is where Africa was falling and where Black people themselves were losing ground from a historical perspective. And obviously you got the survivalist, which actually looks at the period of colonization and slavery. And from those two perspectives, we then begin to understand that they look at resistant movements, especially those of us who are from African Caribbean backgrounds, especially living in the West, in America, the Caribbean islands, Canada, Central America, etc., to overthrow such a barbaric system. What you will find where contributionism is concerned, the people who really like to focus on that are the Afrocentrics or Black people, because unfortunately, Europeans or Eurocentrism has left us in this 500-year room. So if you ask most people who are from the dominant culture, where does our history start? They will start in slavery. However, archaeological digs and excavations and DNA analysis have proved otherwise, that Black people and people from Africa are the oldest people on the planet. What I'm trying to emphasize here, where contributionism is concerned, is that most Afrocentrics, most Black people who come from the Western perspective, African Americans, African Caribbeans, Afro Latinos, Afro Hispanics, etc., we always like to look at the contributionism because we know our history is much older than slavery. And if you look at majority of the African countries, 2 countries actually named by Africans, all the rest are named by foreigners or interlopers or later comers, whatever the case may be. So if you look at Nigeria, for instance, we know it's a Portuguese word. Niger is a Portuguese word. Sierra Leone is a French, okay? And we can go on, and we can see where people's colonized our countries, put their names on who we were within the particular regions they took at the Berlin Conference. Liberia was basically named after the country being liberal. This was during the American Colonization Society, which was established approximately, I think it's about 1812. And what the aim was because slavery was still going on in the Americas, and there was a lot of free Black people in America. They didn't want that freedom to give ideas to the people they were enslaving. So the American Colonization Society decided to use these free people to go back into Africa as a way of trying to remove them from the enslaved people in the Americas. And that's how Liberia was established. Liberia was established by the American Colonization Society. And Britain took the same initiative for Sierra Leone. If you look at the people of Sierra Leone, they have a close link genetically and historically with the people of the Caribbean. As opposed to the people of Liberia, there's closer links with them with North America, the African American population. So Liberia and Sierra Leone were the product of this is why you have Freetown in Sierra Leone. It's all about freedom, the abolition of slavery, the abolition of the slave trade, etc.